my name is Boag, and if you're like me, you've always got some big idea going around in your head for a digital service or a digital product. The trouble is, only about 1 in 10 of any products that are launched make it to market and survive the long term. And we want to give your product the best chance of success. So I'd encourage you to join me for this course to ensure that your digital product succeeds. And over the years, I've kind of began to build up a bit of a picture of why people's startups, why their big ideas fail to be successful. And I would say, there's obviously lots of different reasons, but there are kind of 3 that really stand out to me that we're going to be exploring in a lot more detail today. One is they don't really solve a real problem, okay? Many SaaS startups struggle because they fail to solve a meaningful problem for a big enough audience, right? It may make sense to you. It may solve a problem that you have, but it doesn't mean it solves a meaningful problem for a big enough group of people. So that's one aspect of it. The second reason that most SaaS apps fail is poor marketing. That having a robust strategy for acquiring and retaining customers is essential, right? You can have the best idea in the world, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be successful. This whole idea of, the cream rises to the top is BS, right? Who is the world's most famous scientist, right? You'll probably think of Einstein, you'll probably think of Stephen Hawking, people like that. But there are many, many other scientists who have achieved, maybe not as much as Einstein, that's probably a bad example, but have certainly achieved as much as Stephen Hawking you've never heard of. So the reason you've heard of those 2 over others isn't just because they're the best in the field, although they are. It's not just because they're incredibly bright, although they are. It's because they're out there. And it's the same with a product. Just because you create a great product doesn't mean anybody's going to care or buy it. And then the third reason is there's no real differentiation, okay? So one of the reasons that the big ideas often come about, okay, is because we see another product and we go, it doesn't work quite the way I want it to. Right? And so we kind of create our own version of it or start thinking about our own version of it. But that might not be enough to clearly differentiate it in the marketplace. That might not be a benefit that somebody else can clearly understand in the same way. So you've got your features, you've got your audience, you know your market. Is it time to build yet? No. I'm still not letting you code anything. But what I am suggesting is you prototype. Now, it might be for you, actually, the quickest way to prototype is in code, in which case that's absolutely fine. But don't try and build the actual thing yet. There are 3 reasons for prototyping before you try and go for the full build. First of all, it's going to save you effort. It's easy to waste time building features that turn out not to be fit for purpose. Even with all this research and even with all this thought, sometimes you can be surprised and that comes back to bite you. Second, prototyping avoids mistakes that would be time consuming to fix within a full build. And ultimately that means you'll get to the market quicker because you won't make mistakes when you're actually building and it's costly. And also prototyping can help you plan for the future. It can help you envisage the features of an app so you can lay better foundations. So I tend to start with wireframes. And I talk a lot more about prototyping in my product design course. But I start with lo-fi wireframes to give me a bird's eye view of how the application will fit together and how all the features work together. And then I will probably do some high fidelity mock-ups for critical screens, partly because that allows me to do some lightweight testing that answers 3 fundamental questions, but also because those screens can be very useful in the final section we're going to look at, which is running a test campaign, right? So what can you learn from this kind of prototyping? What you're trying to take away here is trying to put it in front of some users in a very lightweight way and learn 3 things. Do they like it, right? Does it resonate with them? Do they get excited about it? Do they get it? Do they understand what it is and how it's supposed to work and what it can do for them? And can they use it, right? Can they successfully navigate it, complete tasks, etc.? Once you've prototyped up a few pages and the kind of flow of it, you don't need to do the whole thing. I'm not insisting that every page is created as a high fidelity prototype. We've got better things to do with our lives. But once you've got a few pages and a feel of how it all fits together, give it a go testing it with something like Listen. Listen's a great app that does 3 very basic tests that we can try. And again, I've talked about this in my course on user research and testing. So the 3 tests that I tend to run are do they like it tests, which is a survey. And basically the survey says, asks them what words they associate with the app that you've created. Is it exciting? Is it innovative? Is it, perfect for my needs, or whatever else? You just, words come back. Just to get a sense of what people think about it. More details on running those in the other course. Then we can look at, do they get it? I typically use a 5-second test for this, where I show one of my high fidelity mock-ups, or even several of them to users for a short length of time, a few seconds, take it away and then ask them, what was the app? What did it do? What was it about? What could I achieve via it? And then finally, can they use it? I'll ask them to, I'll show them a mock-up and I'll say, if you wanted to create a new task in this task app, or if you wanted to create a new project in this task app, where would you click? And then they click on the mock-up and it records where they've clicked, and you can see whether people are clicking in the right place, etc. So people have hit your landing page, you've driven a load of people to the landing page, maybe they've pre-ordered, maybe they've signed up for a mailing list, whatever, but you now know who these people are, and you want to nurture them a bit. We want to get them excited, we want to get them on board, so when we actually want to take their money, they still are willing to give it to us, right? Now, from running that campaign in itself, we're going to have learnt loads of things about our audience. We might have done multiple versions of the campaign with slightly different landing pages, with different calls to action, with different pricing. We can fiddle around with that as much as we want to or otherwise. All the time we're doing those tests, not only are we learning about what will work to build, but we're also we're building up an audience, right? And we don't want to lose that audience, and we'll lose them if their emails just sit there, right? How many times, I don't know, I sign up for stuff. I'm like you, I'm an early adopter, so I'll sign up for any old wet mailings. And then I get this email through saying, you'll be excited to hear we've launched X. And I'm going, X? What was that? Yeah. Did I sign up for that? I don't think I signed up for that. Spam, right? I mean, that's useless. You've got to nurture people. They've got to hear from you regularly. So this is what I do. When people first sign up, I put them on what I call an onboarding email series. So I plan a series of emails over a number of weeks that talk them through the features and the benefits that they will receive, or even go a little bit broader than that. You have a series of emails over a series of weeks just to kind of get them on board, get them thinking, get them a bit enthusiastic. Then after that, right, because you might not necessarily have built the whole app in a few weeks. You're probably not. I expect you've got months of work ahead of you. So once a month or so, I would drop them an email, basically with a progress update, trying to keep them excited, trying to keep them engaged, talking about the development progress, etc. And what I tend to encourage in those is a bit of feedback as well. Why don't you write me? Tell me about your story and the challenges you've been facing. Maybe you want to suggest a feature, right? And create a place where users can submit ideas that they want to see in the application and vote them up and down. And we can use that poll unit that we used for the top task analysis earlier to collect those features, right? So that makes people feel kind of engaged. And then when the product maybe is in a bit of a better place, then you can give them some early access, right? You can encourage those on the mailing list to use the app for free for a while to A, get them hooked, hopefully, B, to get some useful feedback, and C, to encourage some interest. So there's lots of opportunities there as well to really nurture that audience. and make use of them. And that's basically it in terms of that kind of test campaign. But that test campaign is by far the most powerful thing in some ways out of everything that I've said today, because it's an opportunity to really find out whether anybody is going to buy this thing at the end of the day.